At the end of the Game Boy Advance's life cycle, IGN listed WarioWare Twisted as the best game for that system. So, does it still hold up today, or does another game claim that top prize? Let's break it down. Okay, it's not going to win any awards for best looking game. The graphics are crude and the frame rates are low. But that's the style of the game. I know it sounds dumb to say the game looks bad, because they intended it to. It's a cross between a comic book and a cartoon. Text is easy to read. And the microgames are easy to figure out, in part because of the simplicity of the graphics. Twisted gets a lot of praise from me, for its great use of colors here too. The menus and objectives pop out like few games before it. I can't stress this enough. The overall presentation here is one of the best of the entire Game Boy Advance's lineup. Maybe even every Nintendo game ever made. Not kidding here. There's over 100 micro games, dozens of mini games, a sense of humor, and maybe even my own pet cat. Okay, I guess I'm not much of a cat guy. But basically, the whole game is just awesome. Even these micro games have 3 levels of difficulty. Boss battles the same. You can play this game 8 hours a day for a week and not find everything. There's just so much to get here. It's unbelievable how much they crammed into one Game Boy Advance game. There's just so much to talk about here. I'm not even kidding. I'm telling you, this game probably has the most sound effects of any Game Boy Advance game before it, and they're all top notch. You could also unlock different soundtracks and records, scratch them back and forth, even play classic Mario tunes, and classic NES sound effects are everywhere. Top that with the ability to unlock different musical instruments, and this game is through the roof in the sound department. It's probably the best sounding Game Boy Advance game on top of everything else. Intuitive. That sums it up here. You just turn the Game Boy Advance from side to side. Sometimes even hit the A button. Occasionally even switches it up by telling you not to move at all. Now let's get to the worst part of the entire game, and that's Wario's boss battle. He makes you do this weird dancing rhythm game, and I really don't have that much rhythm, and it was just frustrating. It took me a long time to beat this. However, there's a Mario minigame in here that's just awesome. I wish they made a whole game like this. There's just so much gameplay, and on top of it, you could unlock many different minigames, some of which I spent way too long playing. And some other ones are really cool. There's this apple game where you try to shoot little naked Warios at apples. You can shoot these bombs and set them off when you want for maximum points. And that's a minigame. I would have played that all just as a regular game. There's just so much here. The total package will keep you playing for many hours, days, and weeks to come. It's top notch. Basically, they're just longer versions of the micro games. There's even a nose-picking boss. That really shows off the sense of humor that was also behind the scenes here. There's no traditional bosses, but then again, this isn't a traditional game. And, quite frankly, it's better for it. So is it still the best Game Boy Advance game? Anyone of any age can pick it up and immediately enjoy it. It has tons of lasting appeal, and a great deal of variety. The motion control tech that was used in this is still relatively used today in one way or another. This game really holds up, and I do believe it is the best Game Boy Advance game to this date, and it is the definitive game to own on your Game Boy Advance. But that's just my opinion. Thanks for watching.